So you bought a cheap weight distributing hitch because the price looked right, only to find your trailer still sways like a metronome in a wind tunnel and your steering wheel now has its own heartbeat. That sinking feeling when the $120 no-name kit doesn't fix the problem is exactly why the Blue Ox BXW1006 SwayPro is worth a second look. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Most people start with the tongue weight and hitch capacity, but the real headache is the sway that creeps in once you're rolling down the highway. A basic ball mount can handle the static load, but once you add passengers, gear, and a stiff crosswind, the trailer starts pushing the tow vehicle instead of following it. That's where the SwayPro earns its keep. It uses a dual spring bar design to shift some of the trailer's tongue weight back onto the rear axle of your truck or SUV, which tightens the whole rig and quiets the side-to-side motion before it ever starts. If you've ever fought a trailer that feels like it's trying to pass you on the interstate, this hitch is the first thing that actually slows it down. Setup is the moment when most buyers bail out. You've already wrestled the trailer onto the ball once, now you're supposed to add bars, chains, and a whole new shank? The BXW1006 keeps it simple. The 11-hole shank gives you 11 height adjustments in half-inch increments, so you can dial it in without stacking washers or cutting the old shank down to size. The spring bars pivot on greased bushings that slide right into the cradle without a mallet and a prayer, and the whole install takes about 20 minutes if you've got a jack and a helper. That's not marketing fluff, it's the difference between finishing at dusk and sleeping in the driveway because the instructions were written for a robot. Once it's on, the real test is daily driving. I've towed a 28-foot travel trailer loaded with tools and a week's worth of clothes through the Rockies and across the plains, and the difference is night and day. The rig stays level, the mirrors stay still, and the sway that used to make my wife white-knuckle the grab handle is gone. The SwayPro doesn't eliminate every vibration, you'll still feel the road texture through the seat, but it stops the big, scary oscillations that make you second-guess every lane change. That peace of mind is worth more than the sticker price once you've lived with a trailer that feels like it's trying to take over. Now, it's not perfect for everyone. If you're pulling a tiny pop-up camper that weighs less than 3,000 pounds, you're better off with a basic friction sway bar or even a good weight distribution system with a lower capacity. The BXW1006 tops out at 10,000 pounds, so if your trailer is pushing that limit with a full payload, you'll need to step up to the next model or add a brake controller to keep everything in check. Also, the spring bars stick out a few inches farther than a standard setup, so tight turns in campgrounds can mean a little extra clearance work with the mirrors. It's a small trade-off for the stability you gain, but if you're parking in a spot where every inch counts, it's something to measure before you buy. Who should pull the trigger? If you tow a mid-size fifth wheel or a large bumper pull that's already close to your truck's limits, this hitch is the cheapest insurance policy against a scary sway moment. Weekend warriors who upgrade from a small teardrop to a 24-foot camper will notice the biggest jump in control. Even full-timers who live in their trailers will appreciate the level ride when they're hauling tools or groceries that add up fast. Who should look elsewhere? If you're still in the aisle, just buy the cheapest option and hope for the best phase. Save yourself the headache and stick with a brand that has a solid return policy. If your trailer is under 5,000 pounds and you rarely see sway, a basic system will do. And if you're towing a heavy fifth wheel every weekend, you might need the next tier model with integrated sway control or a higher capacity shank. The value isn't in the numbers on the box, it's in the miles you drive without white-knuckling the wheel. After a few trips where the trailer behaves instead of misbehaves, the Blue Ox BXW1006 pays for itself in stress saved. If that sounds like the upgrade you need, check out the link in the description and see if it fits your setup.